Hello and welcome to Home Entertainment. I'm Deborah Guthrie and this is Brandy Yates. We are being joined by Bob Hoffman from the Wharton Center. We are always glad to have you on the show.
I love coming on the show. It's always so much fun.
You have so much entertainment to share with us. It's fantastic. I don't know what we would do in this area without the Wharton Center. I really don't.
Well, so we have some November shows to get to, but first we went to a rehearsal of sensory-friendly performance of Temple, and HOMTV's Gabriella talks to the cast at the rehearsal. Let's take a look at that first.
No hand in hand, no two of us together.
Here at the MSU Auditorium, local middle and high school students are joining MSU students along with Broadway professionals to rehearse for one unique performance. The performance, Temple, a stage concert reading based on the life of Temple Grandin, an autism activist who is one of the first individuals on the autism spectrum to share her own life experiences.
People said previous to our new understanding, thanks to Temple and others like her, that there was nobody at home in the autistic person, that there literally wasn't a soul, there was nobody thinking, there was nothing happening, there were no feelings, almost that there was no sentience.
And as if the incredible play itself wasn't enough, the performance is a sensory-friendly one with lower lights, acoustic sound, and other accommodating features. Along with being a spokesperson for autism, Temple is also known for her work with the cattle industry and for revolutionizing the treatment of livestock for slaughter.
I think about cattle all the time.
Konstantin Katsopoulos, who is a co-composer, music supervisor, and conductor of Temple, says he enjoyed working with the combination of talent.
It's a great opportunity for them to learn about the process of putting a new music theater piece together. Not only are they learning about that process, they're increasing their awareness about autism at the same time by working on this piece.
It is anticipated by those involved in the performance that the audience will be pleased.
I think they'll be surprised at their emotional connection to this piece and the story.
In East Lansing, Gabriella Galloway, HOMTV.
We did a special sensory-friendly performance for people with autism. So it's the same performance, we just dimmed down the light, or we increased the lights a little bit. We had special rooms with hug boxes available for people so they could be comfortable. So we're really trying to reach out to new audiences, and especially those who are on the autism spectrum.
What age group was this targeted at?
Temple was really targeted for maybe the young adult on, so maybe like 12 on.
Because my nephew is autistic, and there are very specific sensory type things, the types of clothes, how close fitting his attire was or not, where he was in the house or seated, or how his food was. You know, they're very specific things, or what in what order he was eating, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and so I could see this sort of show when he was younger. He's older now.
He would love. I mean,
younger,
I would hope he
probably
love it. You know, it was based on Temple Grandin, who is autistic and was really able to communicate for the first time what it's like being autistic for the rest of the non-autistic world to understand, or the people that are on the spectrum already, what it's like to be there, and what she experienced and how she experienced, or how she experiences her world. So Temple was really great, introducing new audiences, and also I think helping people understand a little bit more about autism and the spectrum of autism.
Can you talk about how the show was received? Did you get reviews on it?
We didn't get reviews on it. It was really our first time for the sensory-friendly performance. It was perceived well. I mean, this is one thing that we're really trying to do more of. You know, the Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is coming up, is also about a boy on the spectrum. We're going to have a show next year that we're actually going to have another sensory-friendly performance. So this was our foray into this, and we're going to do more of it.
So we'll see more of that coming to the Wharton Center.
Absolutely, yeah.
So expand audiences.
Well, expand audiences, and also, you know,
Enlighten
people,
people who may not know.
and
Yeah.
give people the opportunity to experience the power
Right.
of theater, whether you're on the spectrum or not on the spectrum. It gives people the power to experience something that's amazing, and everyone should have that opportunity.
There was a movie my husband and I saw recently this year, and it was from a different perspective. Not the normal voice that you would think it would be from. And we were surprised by it when we went to the theater and saw it. We were surprised it was from that perspective. And he and I walked away and said, wow, we would have never experienced what their perspective was. It wasn't a sensory type of thing experience,
Right.
but it was from a different voice other than what we would have imagined.
Right.
And so we came away with this whole new perspective on someone else's point of
I
view.
love that, because that's what theater is. But that's what that's what great theater is.
It
You know,
is.
we all have different perspectives of everything. You have a different perspective of this conversation than I do.
Yes.
From where you're sitting, from your advantage point, from where I'm sitting, I'm seeing different things that you're not seeing. So I'm hearing different things than you're hearing. So there's a different perspective of everything we do, and I think theater does a great job of encompassing that and giving you multiple dimensions of what's happening at the same time. That's one of the powers of theater.
Bob, I just love your passion. You're just so passionate when you talk about these things. So it's just great to have you on the show.
Well, I can be passionate because there's so much to be passionate about
Right.
at
Well,
Wharton Center.
Passionate, wicked.
Yeah, because when
Yeah.
you say that, it makes me think of Wicked. Because here you have a whole idea. If you think of The Wizard of Oz, or you think of what's the other Wizard of Oz movie? I forget
The Wiz?
the title. Yeah, The Wiz.
The
just
Wiz,
escaped me.
yes.
You have different perspectives of the same sort of storyline, and now Wicked comes along.
Yeah,
and it's this multifaceted, what we never thought of, but maybe we wondered.
What was happening behind the scenes? Who are they?
Who are they?
So
What is their
Wicked is
story?
the story,
Yeah.
the untold story of Oz. It's the story of Glinda the Good Witch and Elphaba, who, by some standards, may be considered evil. By other standards, or wicked, right? By other standards, may not be. So who you think may be good and wonderful may not necessarily be good and wonderful. And who you think is wicked may not necessarily be wicked. It's all a perspective of everyone. I mean, everyone, you know, it's...
It really.
I'm sorry.
No.
The relationships of the witches, like it's a frenemy relationship. If you watch one of my favorite songs is Popular. They become friends, but before they didn't quite get along. They couldn't stand each other. So the frenemy aspect and just the relationships that the two witches have together, you don't see that in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
You think they just don't like each other.
Right. I think you can go deep on that too. You know, you think about back in school. Remember when you were in school and if you were popular, everyone liked you? That's not necessarily the case.
Right.
It's just that people, you know,
Tolerated you.
and really,
put up with
you know,
you.
put up with you and were a little maybe frightened of you.
Yeah.
So anyways, getting back to Wicked. Wicked is an incredible story. It's coming back to Wharton Center. This is the 4th time that it's been here. Here's a perception that people have that it's sold out. It's not sold out. We have tickets left, especially during the Thanksgiving holiday, which I thought actually would sell out because I thought, man, people are coming home, they want to do something with their family, but if you're coming home and you want to do something with your family, look at that Thanksgiving time. Look towards the end of the run. There are some tickets left and it's not to be missed. It's incredible. You've seen it many times, both of you. So
I think it's a story that everyone can relate to.
Yes.
Because I think at some point in each of our lives, we have been looked at wrongfully, or there's been a misconception or misperception about who we are, or what we may have done, or and sometimes you make a mistake, and then
Or you think somebody's thinking something about you that may
Yes.
not necessarily
That's
be
not
the
even
truth.
true.
Right.
Yes.
It's based
Yeah.
on fear, false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
Fear, false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Which I love to say that because it's so Wicked is deep, but it's so good because there's so many amazing songs that go along with it.
You
and the
get lost
story.
if you're looking for something where you get lost in the story and you forget that you're even at the Wharton Center.
Yeah.
Right? This Wicked is one of those performances. I can say that I've seen it absolutely without a doubt. You lose yourself, and at the end, you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm at the Wharton Center." I forgot.
I'm not part of the show.
I was so involved in Wicked. Yeah.
No, and the
It's one of those-
comedy aspect too. It's surprising
Yes,
because there's
true.
comedic moments. throughout,
Yeah.
and then,
Witty.
Yes,
It's witty.
And then you think of how it ties to the story that you know of Wizard of Oz
Yeah.
and how it connects.
Yep. Yep.
So that's coming.
Yeah.
It's November 9th through the 27th. Again, tickets are available towards the end of the run. Then we have Mannheim Steamroller coming back, created by the Grammy Award-winning Chip Davis. Christmas music, holiday music, and it kind of in a unique rock and roll, high energy, lots of lights environment. They've been celebrating 40 years they were actually introduced, and this
Wow, I
is the
didn't realize
30th
this
anniversary of their first Christmas album. Totally fun for the entire family.
I can't believe we're already talking about Christmas, Bob. It's the holiday season. It's upon us.
Can I say, if you're afraid to go to a musical, something, I mean, not a musical, but something that's just music, that this is the sort of thing that I think
this is an entertainment.
Yes, it's total entertainment. You know how some people are afraid to go to an
Just listen to
an orchestra
musicians.
concert
Yes.
or something like that, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I could sit there for that long. This is not that show.
No.
That is not how Mannheim Steamroller is at all.
No.
Complete entertainment, nonstop from start to finish.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is like rock and roll, man. This is cool.
Yeah. There's laser lights too. Or
Oh,
something.
there's
Yeah. This is me with laser lights.
Laser lights
Yes,
throughout. Yes.
it's great.
Canadian Brass Holiday.
Yeah, so this is a brass quintet that was found in 1970. It's one of the most famous brass quintets of all time, or ensembles of all time. They've released over 70 CDs, believe it or
Wow.
not. And what's interesting about this show is that you can really get an insight of what's going to happen because they're going to have an insight preview that takes place around just before the show, which is free to audience members.
That's cool.
And it's just one of those shows that I think is going to be great for, the holiday season. They'll play some holiday songs, and it's going to be a fun show. And they're so world renowned. So.
Did we say when Mannheim Steamroller and this one was coming? to
Yeah,
the
so
Wharton Center?
Mannheim Steamroller is coming Wednesday, November 30th, and then Canadian Brass actually is going into December. So this is December 2nd at 8 o'clock. And then followed right after that, we've got the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center playing the Brandenburg Concertos, all 6 Brandenburg Concertos by Johann Sebastian Bach. It's very rare that you've heard the Brandenburg Concertos before because you probably don't even know that they're the Brandenburg Concertos, but they're out there, you hear them. Playing them all together is not often done. The Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center was at Wharton Center for like 19 years in a row. They were
A long
there,
time.
yeah,
Right?
a long
Yeah.
time ago, and and they haven't been back for a very long time. So this is the first time that they're coming back and playing all 6 Brandenburg Concertos at the same time. It's going to be a lovely evening. I really encourage people to take advantage of it. Maybe this is a show that you'd want to take your kids to introduce them to classical music.
Seems like a very popular time of year
Yes.
Well, yeah.
to have these types of performances at the Wharton Center.
Holiday time is really busy for us, gearing up for January and February, which is another busy time. And then after that, we'll be announcing our next season in March and April. So like around that time. So it's
So the season is like wrapping up and we don't even know
I mean,
it.
we're going into the second part of the season,
Right.
but at the same time, it's kind of like midway through and we're wrapping up and we're already preparing. In fact, I had a meeting this morning about next season. So
I was going to ask you, what are you doing behind the scenes?
working on next season.
Okay, so towards the end of the first half
Yeah.
of the season, you're looking at the entire next season.
It's such a fun job because there's so many things going on, you know.
Yeah.
I'm working on Wicked right now. I'm working on all the shows that we're talking about, Canadian Brass,
going on.
Mannheim Steamroller, Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center, plus starting to get information on next year's shows and really looking at the calendar and saying, okay, when are we going to unveil these? What's interesting about these? What do I need to know about these? And some of them, to be honest with you, I'm doing research on because I
just
may
gonna
not
say
have
that.
seen it. I may not know about it, so I'm doing research. So at any one time, people are asking me different things about, oh, who is in Canadian Brass, for instance, and I'm like, well, Caleb Hudson is going to be on trumpet, Chris Coletti is going to be on trumpet, Bernard Scully on horn. Of course, I'm looking at my notes.
Right. Well,
Okay,
and
you don't know
I want to know how to say Achilles Liarmakopoulos.
You
on
said it
John.
right.
Look at you.
How good I am at pronouncing.
Somebody, maybe our viewer will.
Right, someone
come in.
will call and let us know.
How many times?
Do I mispronounce things?
No. No, we don't want to know that. How many times does a request for a performance need to come in before you say,
Oh my gosh, Deborah.
oh, yes, we need to have them come out? We have received 1,000 requests for this.
For Mamma Mia to come back.
Yes. See, now that I was going to use that as an example.
Okay.
People love Mamma Mia, so people will write and say, when's Mamma Mia coming back? We want to see Mamma Mia. Wicked, the 5th time coming back. When's Wicked coming back? So we take those into considerations. And especially a show like that, if it's sold out or if it's really close to selling out, well, then we know the audiences want to see it. At the same time, we're going to have a fraction of the population say, I don't want to see that again. Why are
Yes.
you bringing that back? Well, we're bringing it back around because the majority of people are saying they want to see it and they're buying tickets to it. So that's good for us. It's good for the local economy. It's good for, everything. When you have a show like Wicked, which is going to be here for 3 weeks, think about the amount of money that's spent in the local economy with people that are coming here and they are going out to dinner beforehand or afterwards, or they're going to get drinks afterwards.
from
Or
out
they're
of
even
town, they're
buying
gonna stay at
gas
the hotel.
to,
Yeah.
in town, or they're
Right.
doing something in town. Maybe they're checking out, many of the amazing restaurants we have and shopping centers we have. So
Picking up some Spartan Spirit wear while they're here.
that's what I'm saying.
Made your trip down. Well, Bob, we're
Yeah.
almost out of time, but I know
Oh.
there's one more, a Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder that you wanted to talk about.
Gentleman's
You said
Guide
we
to-
would love it.
And we're going to talk about this next month too, a little bit more. But winner of the 2014 Tony Award for Best Musical. It's a musical comedy. It talks about Monty, the heir to a family fortune, who is a long-distance heir to a family fortune. But suddenly, the 8 people that are in front of him to get the family fortune are murdered.
Oh no!
It's a comedy though. It's a British comedy.
I know we're laughing about them.
But it's a funny show. It's hilarious. So
Okay, and you said December 13th
sort
through
of
the
a-
18th.
13th through the 18th.
Is this sort of a murder mystery kind of thing
It's
where
not.
you're wondering
It's
during the show?
no, it's a comedy. It's
Okay.
it's funny.
So there's no murder mystery. We know who's.
Well-
yeah.
It's insinuative and it's funny.
Okay.
Okay.
I know it's hard
So
to
we have to
describe
see it.
without giving it away, but yeah.
If it's hard to describe, then you have to go see it so you understand it.
There's some really good music with it too.
Oh yeah?
Okay. So Bob, thank you so
Are we
much.
out of time
I know
already?
we're out of time already.
She's cutting us off, Bob.
I know.
Bob and I could sit here and talk.
We'll talk amongst
we've talked
ourselves.
for a whole hour. We can't wait for Wicked. We can't wait to have you back on the show for December and see what's coming up December and January. So thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thanks.
Now we took a behind-the-scenes look at the MSU Broad Art Museum. They did a pop studio and got a little taste of creative ways with music.
The Broad Pop Studio, a monthly series that the museum offers. They allow the public to come in and experiment with various forms of art, This month in particular was focused on sound. Brian McLean, manager of museum programs, talks a little more about the studio session.
Each month the theme changes, and this month we are focused on sound and experimenting with sound. So today we're going to be listening to different sounds and giving some sort of intuitive responses to the sounds, the pre-recorded sounds that we hear, and then inviting participants to go out and record their own sounds, found sounds in the environment. And we're using an app called Found Sounds that allows you to then geotag those recordings.
Some young children popped in to identify some sounds for themselves. Gallery guide Katherine Hogel also shares her feelings about this series.
I love its uniqueness. It's not anything I've ever seen in other forms of trying to get the community involved. These pop studios are completely different, and they're quite enjoyable for anyone. Like, it's not restrictive in any way, shape, or form.
In East Lansing, Brianna Sparks, HOMTV.
Get your head in the game with HOMTV's All Access Sports. All Access Sports is there to bring you news on high school, college, and professional teams in the area. Watch each week to catch game highlights, exclusive interviews with athletes and coaches, and in-depth player stories. Stay on the ball with All Access Sports only on HOMTV.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Whether it's in the senior center or out in the community, senior living helps older adults get the most out of Ingham County. Watch Senior Living on HOMTV.
Celebrating their 35th anniversary, the Children's Ballet Theater of Michigan is bringing in the holidays, performing a family favorite, the Nutcracker.
With CBT, I've performed a number of years. This is probably one of the last years, unless we have a huge shortage of men that I may have to step in again, but other than that, this will be my last year performing with the company.
Practice for the holiday performances are usually hours at a time, including choreography by Gregory George over an orchestra of strings, woodwinds, brass, and percussion. Brianna, who's been dancing since she was 3, will play Sugar Plum Fairy this year.
She's the fairy of the Land of Sweets, which is in second act, and after Clara goes through her dreams of battle and then into snow and meets Snow Queen, she'll finally come to meet Sugar Plum and Cavalier in the Land of Sweets.
Visual details are important when making wardrobe. Sugar Plum's bodice and overskirt must be seen all the way from the back row to the front of the theater. Amelia Rush plays Clara and explains her favorite scene.
I really like the battle scene, because it's really energetic and it's just a lot of fun.
Clara's little brother, Fritz, will be played by Eden Kangas, who admits it's fun to play this character.
Because you get to be like naughty, and it's fun just to try something different.
CBT's version of the Nutcracker is slightly different from the original. Every year, they change how the Rat King dies, which keeps the audience guessing. How will the Rat King die this year? You'll have to see for yourself at the Wharton Center for Performing Arts this Thanksgiving weekend. In Lansing, Bria Brown, HOMTV.
Curious preschool children will enjoy hands-on scientific exploration activities at this year's Tree Tales November 3rd. Scout it out with Scout badges, workshops, earn badges through the workshops for the Brownie Girl Scouts November 5th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Enjoy the full moon. Take a guided walk through the nighttime woods. Bring flashlights to your best friend or your dog. Everyone is welcome. Choose Into the Woods, Into the Wild with the Webelis Club Scouts, November 12th. Enjoy stories of nature with Chicory and Hickory Chipmunk this year at this year's Leap Hunt on November 17th. There will be fresh food, fresh produce, projects, and senior market fresh food. Join the Namokas community for its fall feast. Honor your ancestors with a traditional feast and learn about the culture of this community.